on, people? Back again. Before we jump into it, just want to give a shout out to, as always, to myself, NWA Connie Corso, Joe, Doug, of course, my producer, co-producer, everybody, including the gentleman sitting here with me now, everybody that tunes into the show, that's on the show. We appreciate all of y'all. Even the haters and the people in the comments that don't say nothing, we like, all of that stuff. It's all views. So, big things coming up. I know, let me see. Let me not say it like that, but, I got a lot of interesting topics, in the canine world, especially to come up, but, you are going to be seeing, like I said, a lot of exotic animal content, because that's my thing, but I also want to keep the canine people happy. And this right here will actually be I'm going to do one more, I don't necessarily want to say band dog interview or podcast. So this will be the second to last one. But without further ado, dude, this is your first podcast. Like, I know this is your first podcast? Like,
Yeah.
Okay, because you did some round tables with me, a couple
Yeah.
round tables.
I popped that just one time, I think.
Well, really quickly, before I throw the analogy out there, introduce yourself really quickly, since this is your first time really being on and having people see you. So, but
Well,
you got your own channel too, so make sure you
yeah,
plug
yeah,
yourself.
yeah, yeah. Well, first and foremost, I want to give thanks to the praises to the Most High, God, Jesus Christ. Uh, Nothing is possible without Him. Uh, Everybody knows me as New Dog Man, of course. Kind of got some clout on Instagram for the feeler. Uh, our YouTube channel is New Dog Man and Outdoors. New Dog Man Kennel and Outdoors. That's about it.
What up, Niall? So now, me and you, we've been chopping it up for quite a bit now. On and off dog topics, and I know you're real into. We both are, but you are more so. You got a more direct approach to the holistic, the more the vegan and vegetarian. You know what I mean? That cleaner lifestyle. Like I'm like semi there. I'm like halfway. There's still some stuff I like to eat that I shouldn't be
Yeah.
eating. But I wanted to kind of use that to kind of jump into this conversation about processing, because I know that someone who is into holistic diets and natural medicines and organic living and clean, that's something that you most of those people know a great deal about processing and processed foods. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, when you think about it as like, how many people probably have never had like real apple juice? You know what I mean? When you really think about that, like, we've never really had real apple juice. Like, when you go, obviously at some point someone had to do something with an apple to figure out, like, oh my God, this juice is delicious and it has these properties. You know what I mean? You drink enough of it to make you boo boo. You know what I mean? Help your system get your bowels moving, they say. So it's got other properties as well. So, people are juicing apples, for a long time, and it's 100% pure juice. It's got some pulp in it and it's really good. And, and then at some point in time, somebody else comes along and it's like, man, this stuff is really good, but I ain't not trying to be growing a whole apple orchard and, do all this stuff and hire people. Like, that costs money. And then there's more process there that we're not really trying to take on. But we do know that apple juice is a great seller. So I don't know, hypothetically, maybe they buy a small orchard, right? They
Mm-hmm.
got a small orchard with some really good apples. And then they come up with this product, and then they put the product in the store, and then you start reading the label, and it's like anywhere from 5 to 15% juice. Because how many products out there are really 100% juice? There's not many,
No.
and we're talking 100% not from concentrate, because that's not the same.
Right.
So you got so they make this apple juice, right? And it's got 5 to 12% juice in there, obviously, because it's got the same color. It's not the texture is different because it's not fresh pressed. You know what I mean? It's
It's not. It's
thinner.
not. It's not. It's really not the same color,
Right,
but
it's real.
yeah,
Right, well, you know what I mean. As
yeah,
far as like, it's because it's clear. But when you,
yeah,
if you blend it all up together, so they're trying to keep that appearance as much as they can because it depends on the apples as well too. So you are right
right,
about that because some
right,
apples will press out lighter or darker.
yeah,
But he's like, man, so we got this product, and well, we know apple juice does this, this, and this, so it's got to have some of those properties in it. So even when you do drink that apple juice, you
mhm,
still get that feeling in your stomach when you drink enough of it, and that's
right,
enough to keep people thinking, hey, this is apple juice. You know
right,
what I mean? And they don't really question it, even though there's 18 other million ingredients that they can't pronounce on there. And but that's a process. And for someone to know how to do that process, I mean, that's a lot of work. That's a lot of detail to know what chemicals to go what to put where, because it tastes similar to apple juice, right? But it
right.
doesn't, but if you've had real apple juice or apple cider, you're like, yeah, it's got a hint, but it ain't.
It
But
ain't
it's
so
like I
good.
said, it's enough for the average person. It's enough for the average person, and they buy it, and they don't question it as much nowadays. But like I said, there's a lot that goes into that to trick someone in that process, and putting those things together and
It's
having
not.
that
It's not. It's not really tricking if the people know.
you don't think well, I guess you're telling them, so it's really not a trick
Yeah,
in
it's
that
not
sense, because you
tricking.
are telling them. You
Yeah,
are
it's
you are
not tricking.
telling them that. So I
Right.
guess you're right. And so I guess let me backtrack if I can say not even a trick, because that's right. And now that you say it like that, it's really not a trick. Even though it's like, what do they say? Oh, well, if I just tell you I'm going to do something, I can avoid my karma type of deal.
Right.
Like, I guess that's the type of deal it is. Like, well, here it is. Everything's on the label. We're going to call it apple juice, but it's not.
Right.
And that's up to
It,
you
I,
to decipher.
it's like my thing is, let's do maple syrup. Maple
Oh,
syrup.
man.
You buy a syrup, there's no maple in it at all.
Right. Most of corn syrup,
It's
majority of
corn
it. Corn
syrup and
syrup. And
natural flavorings and a whole bunch
so,
of bullshit. Yeah,
so a lot of people never had real maple syrup.
exactly.
So the point of me bringing this up is about processing and having the mentality, whether you're taking something and you are making it synthetic, which we see in a lot more of that today, or if you're taking pure things and then you're putting them together in a specific manner to it somewhere along the road have a pure specimen from cross pollination, which I think, but correct me if I'm wrong, is the goal of what that's what your goal is, to have one ultimate dog from all these crosses that you're doing
Uh,
at
yeah.
some point.
At some point, yeah, it's probably gonna be a long time. I don't know if I'll still be doing it in the future or not. It's a long ass time.
Well, and that's why I
yeah,
wanted, and that's why I started the way I did, if that makes sense now,
yeah,
because you
yeah,
really have to know apple juice in order to
yeah,
synthesize it. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Like, because like, and that's why I refer to it as a trick, because in a way it is, but like you said, once you tell them and you put a label on it, you're right, it is no longer a trick. Now, if they
yeah.
didn't put a label on it, then yeah. But so, but the mentality behind that, like, where does that even, like, okay, let me ask you this. What was the first dog you ever bought? Like, that you ever bought for yourself?
A beagle.
A beagle. That's crazy, because that was one of the first dogs. Now, why did you pick that dog?
Um, I like hunting dogs, and the beagle
Okay.
was something I just wanted to get into, like rabbit hunting.
And how long ago was that?
I was 15.
So would you say, were you thinking about, you know, making catch dogs and things then, or were you just kind of like, I like this type of dog?
Not
Make
so before probably like around yeah, 13, 14 ish. Probably even 12. Me and my friends used to have our dogs. We had pit bulls, well, hood pit bull,
right.
a couple of rat terriers, and we used to just hit up the train tracks that had like a little patch of woods, and we used to go run and catch woodchucks, fucking rabbits, we foxes, we ran deer. We caught one deer one time. and it just was a thrill for us. It was something outside of the streets. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? It was just with our dog. And
So do
then
you oh no, go ahead. I thought you were done. Go ahead.
even before that, like I had always had pit bulls. Like so I did my first breeding when I was 12, which was my mom and my stepdad dogs, but I did the breeding. And out of that later I kept a puppy up for myself. So with that puppy, I just, you know what I'm saying, ran the hood with him and did what I did, have fun and you know what I'm saying.
Right. So let me ask you this. So at what point did you decide to like, I really want to make a real catch dog, or not even necessarily make a dog, but I really want to really take this hog business serious. Like, I really want to get out there with these bird dogs, these gun dogs, these hound
So
dogs.
so the whole catch dog thing, I mean, any dog can be a catch dog.
Right.
As of right now, I got a buddy that has a street dog that he just found off the street. He looks like a husky cross or something, and that motherfucker hits better than any purebred dog or designer dog I've seen out there. So there's
Right.
there's no creating a catch dog. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, we've seen videos of dogos getting curved out by hogs and all that shit.
Right.
So it,
Right.
it just depends on the dog.
Right.
And I'm not
Do you-
I'm not I'm not personally designing a catch dog. I'm just designing a dog. Not even designing. I'm putting together a dog that is just it could do all of that at once. I know people say, well, you can get there with the feeler, but you really can't. You can't get the mobility from the feeler like you can do with the other breeds of dogs. You can't get certain
right.
drives from the feeler that you get from other dogs. So it's just all my dogs hit hogs, but they you know what I'm saying, they can do man
Right.
work too as well.
Right. And
Just
that's
the
why
just
right.
just the just the hogs is just a bonus. It's just what I like to do. I like hunting dogs,
Gotcha.
period. You know what I'm saying? When I got online, that's when I got introduced to the man work and black work. Because before, you
It was
probably
just
see
all
some
right.
some shits and shit on YouTube or some shit like that, or in a book. Until I got on Instagram and the dog world, and just that's what I was focused on. That wasn't my main thing. I like to be out there in the woods with my dogs. Like people that know me, I'm fishing. I got my dogs with me. I'm hiking. I got my dogs with me. So it's just
Right.
you know what I'm saying.
No, for sure, for sure. I see it all. I talk to you, a lot. So, and that's why, I titled the video that on purpose. I'm sure you probably
Oh
picked
yeah,
up on
yeah, yeah.
that.
Hey, listen,
So,
you know me, man.
um, but
I'm
it's
clickbait
not necessarily
master, man.
right. It's not necessarily wrong. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
nah,
Because
nah, it's
you know,
not,
but
wrong.
you are in the process of making a
Yeah, I
versatile
mean, I had
mastiff.
some dogs that was trying to be catch dogs and
Better, yeah, obviously that were
try to
better than
fuck up a
others,
man
and
before they fuck up a dog. I mean, a hog. You know what I'm saying? I had, try to place certain crosses in homes that were for, you know what I'm saying, for hog hunting. And bro was like, yeah, this ain't gonna work because I don't. He a lot of
got you.
dudes get out there in the field. If I would have got
Right.
him as a puppy, it'd have
You
been
could
different.
have.
But he got him, you know what I'm saying, at a year old, and he'd try to fuck somebody up, trying to,
Right.
try to grab him, break him off a hog.
Why you pick the Fila though? I mean, like, I'm familiar with that dog myself.
So,
A lot of people aren't, but why that dog? Because you don't
so,
see it a lot.
um, me growing up, I was the type of person that I could pet your dog. I always said I could pet your dog. You know what I'm saying? Eventually, I'll get a dog to be cool with me. Feed them hot dogs, bread, chicken, puppy
Right.
talking. So back in 2012, um, family member of mine had two Fila Bull Mastiff crosses, and the female was cool, but the male, I just couldn't get him to be cool with me, like for shit, man. I was like, man, this motherfucker is not playing hot dogs. He want to take the hot dogs,
Yeah.
nothing. I'm like, what the fuck? And he was big. He had a nice huge head, paws, and I never seen a dog like that big. Like I seen bull mastiffs, I seen corsos, I seen neos, I seen, you know what I'm saying, English mastiffs, Saint Bernards. I seen all that shit. Like I got to see those dogs in person, but when it came to that. Fila Bull Master Plus. I never seen a dog like that, and he was like really ferocious. So about like after a year, I finally got to pet him. You know, pet him on the
Gotcha.
head, rub him. I walked him probably a couple times, and then one day, I was in a house with him, and he fucking cornered me in the hallway, and I was sitting bricks, and he would not let up for shit. He didn't bite me, but he was
Holding you at bay, basically.
yeah,
Yeah.
he was another. I was like, yeah, nah, this is
You
I
said, and
want
that was a Fila Bull Mastiff
cross.
croc. Okay, I thought there
Yeah,
was three Fila Bull Mastiff croc. Got you.
yeah.
Did it? What was it? A Fila Bull Mastiff or Bull Mastiff Fila? Fila into or a bull? Do you
I think
remember?
I think I can't remember.
It sounds like I mean, because here's the thing,
I
Fila's.
can't remember, bro. To be honest, because I never really met the parents. All I heard was the people talking about, you know what I'm saying, the dog and the parents, and then the people end up moving to North Carolina. So I never got to step foot.
Gotcha. I mean, that sounds like that cross in general, really, to me, knowing both of those breeds, what the bull mastiff is supposed to do. I mean, and that's what exactly what it sounds like it was
Yeah,
doing on the bull mastiff end, because they're necessarily not supposed to always, they're more so supposed to hold until you get there.
yeah.
That's the
That's what
bull
he was doing.
mastiff
That
end.
motherfucker
Right,
wouldn't let me
right.
move.
And
Yeah,
so, right. And, coupling that with the Fila, man, that just intensifies it. Like anybody who is familiar with the Fila, a real true Fila temperament, man, that's just not a dog that you can walk up on, but they're not necessarily a dog that's always just going to run at you and be ferocious. But they're like, hey, you here, I see you, you see me, I'm doing my thing, you do your thing. As long as you don't touch him or her or anybody in this yard, we won't have a problem. And don't come near me. I don't need you to come near me. Like that's the Fila personality. Like, I don't need you to
right.
pet me. That's what they here for. Don't touch
Yeah.
me. Matter of fact, you know what I mean? Like, so yeah, that's so the Fila in itself, how'd you go
So
about getting your first dog?
so
Or you
so
got some more. Go ahead. Go ahead.
all right. So now, just to start it off with, it wasn't the the idea of the program. It was back in 2009 when I seen my first presser. But I
Okay.
seen my first presser on YouTube. Never got to see it in person. My cousin was like, "I'm gonna own one of these one day," and I was like, "Me too." You know what I'm saying? He the one that showed me. They didn't look like the Corsos because the Corsos just. I mean, we had Corsos where I'm from, and I just didn't like them. They was ugly to me. You know, they fucking ugly to me. And when I seen the press, I was like, yeah, that I'm gonna get that. So when I met that dog, his name was Dozer. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna breed because I seen how he was acting with the bull mastiff. So I was like, I'm gonna breed the presser to the feeler when I get it. You know, so it was just an
Right.
idea.
Right.
Um. So your next question was what?
I don't think it was. I think it was a comment.
No, your question. You said,
Oh! I was gonna ask you, how did you go about acquiring the first dog? Your first Fila, was it a American or was it
oh, okay. So
from Brazil?
this dog right here on my screen
Right.
was her uncle was the first feel I bought, but he was in Brazil,
Okay.
and that dog was gonna start my program because I already had my Presta, I already had my Rottweiler, and I already had my Dogo, and I just needed my stud, and that's what some people in Atlanta, you know, they was out here scamming and messed up my bag, and I couldn't get the dog imported from Brazil, you know, so then I went and third here in America. Um, I tried probably 3 or 4 breeders that had, I think 2 had confib dogs. I got declined and one had a waiting list. And then I tried another Fila breeder in here in Georgia, and I just didn't like the way her feelers looked. She had like true American feelers. You know,
The
I didn't.
real, you talking about them lanky, the lanky dogs?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they almost look like English Mastiffs. So I didn't really care for those type of feelers. So I just kept searching, and then I finally came across my breeder. you know, I just listened. Usually I'll ask the 101 questions, but he already jumped into it. He said he was breeding feelers for 20 plus years, and he only outcrossed like every 5 to 6 years. So that rang bells in my ears. So I was like, okay,
Right.
you know how to breed dogs.
Right.
And he said he doesn't breed for temperament or I mean he doesn't breed for colors, even though he throws some majority white dogs or
Right.
white markings. He said he breed for temperament and hotness. And I was like, bet, I'm gonna check you out. I checked out. Now, mind you, prior to that, I checked out a couple of feelings. When I walked up on them and I got the pet full grown feelings. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yeah, I don't want that. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
I don't want that.
Right. Yeah, because
They
that's not right. That doesn't
yeah,
right.
yeah, they did a
Doesn't fit
little
the
boof,
description.
but it wasn't like back the fuck up type boof.
No, I feel you. I'm the same way with my
So,
presses. Like if they don't do certain shit when I
yeah,
go to see them, like nah, I'm all right.
yeah. So I chopped it up with him. I went, got my dog. First day bringing him on the yard. He went after one of my dogs. Like just charged him. Boom. I'm like, this little motherfucker crazy. Uh, and then one of my partners came over and I got the clip of it, what I'm saying? He barked him, he bait him down. Woo, 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 woo. I stopped him in his track. I was like, damn. And I just always kept in the back of my head, what my breeder told me. He was like, uh, his dog turned on at 2, the Ojazera, I don't know how to say the word, but the Ojazera, kicked in at 2, but sometimes it kicked on at a year old. So as I'm watching the dog at the time, his name was Mawaji. That's the foundation of my program. He started showing me stuff with Amazon, the postal carriers. He started doing this charge. I was like, I gotta start watching. So one day a guy was walking down the road and we lived up on the hill. He charged, took after this dude and chased him up on the neighbor's porch across the road. And I was like, this shit is getting crazy. I don't know.
Yeah,
There's a lot of dogs,
they're off the chain, man. I
and
tell people,
he
yeah.
only 8 months old. But at the time where I seen a clip where a guy had his fila, where he had him out in public. He wasn't muzzled up. You know what I'm saying? He was walking through cities, towns, and then in another clip, what I'm saying, he hitting the sleeve and doing all that other
I think
shit.
I knew you talking about that. I know you talking about that black dog from was it the documentary?
No, no, no,
No,
no.
not that one.
This
Okay.
was
Yeah.
this was over there in Brazil.
Oh, it was in Brazil. Okay. I was
Yeah.
thinking you was talking about something just on YouTube or something like
No,
that.
no, no, no. So I was like, I'm gonna get Mawaji like that. I talked to a couple other people and they were like, oh no, you're gonna break his Ozarks Jera. He's gonna be nice to strangers. So I did my best to socialize him, let people pet him, give him treats, all that shit. One day he hit a year old. Once he hit a year old, I took him to PetSmart to go get weighed. And that motherfucker nutted up on an old woman. Like she just came a little too close. I had a shot collar on him. I came prepared, and I that is
Hey,
that.
bro, I would have be honest. If I had saw you, like if I had been walking like me like as me, and I would have saw you, well, I would have been like, oh yeah, this nigga tripping.
Yeah.
I'd have been like, out of back, like, bro, you got a feeler in public.
Yeah. Hey, but I wanted to do it, man. I wanted to try it out, man. And that day, like I stopped taking him out in public in close quarters with people. Um, and he just predominantly just stayed on the yard or when we went, in the woods. But yeah, that's how I acquired Mawaji, and then of course I imported Bessemer a year later. Years to change, probably 2 years later. I think.
So I mean, you've had the Fila experience, plus some for the last few years. So that that's a rare dog here still. I mean, it's been around obviously for
To
for
be
quite a
honest, bro,
while.
you'd be surprised how many feelers are in America.
Well, in the '90s, it
I'm
was
talking
you.
about like when I was posting the puppies online, like I had people hitting me up left and right that was like right around the corner that got like cattle farms that had feelers. Like,
Well, in the '90s, they were trying to push that dog hard here. But when people would go and read about it, it was much like the Pressa. But there was about 3 or 4 breeders here in the 90s. They were aided by a Brazilian guy. I can't remember his name, but he did a lot of the stuff for them, like the importing and the exporting. But for some reason, I think like the Pressa, that just that attitude, people wanted to kind of do what you said with the dog. They wanted to walk around with this dog. And back then, like Pressas, man, and them dogs coming over here, a lot of those dogs were older and they were coming off farms where they had been worked or been around large farm animals. And motherfuckers would get that dog and think they about to walk it down the street. Next thing they know, they got a lawsuit on their hands. Like, you know what I mean? So
shit, man. Them dogs
yeah.
shit,
Yeah, and Filas and Pressas have a similar standard. They got a little bit. I mean, a lot of those dogs have connections to the Iberian Peninsula, whether it be directly or when you get to South America. But a lot of them, if you read the standards, they're real similar in like what the Spanish, because they like certain things like brindles and fawns. You see, like they don't necessarily like a lot of white, but then the Argentinians got a dog that's all white. So it kind of goes against, it's like either all or nothing. But then they made a whole new dog that doesn't really have any white on it. So but so you start. What was the first cross that you did? The first Fila Pressa cross. First Fila cross that you did.
I did the Fila Rottweiler.
Fila Roddy. Okay.
Yeah, bro.
And
listen, I had got a lot of hate from people for doing it. Like,
well, anything you do
just by crossbreeding the dogs.
Right.
Like, I understand it. At the same time, the dogs at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going out here saying that, I'm taking these dogs and I'm calling them purebred or nothing. And
right.
in some people's eyes, well, your dog wasn't a pure Fila per se, whatever, whatnot, because it wasn't registered or it didn't have a true pedigree. I always tell people, me personally, I see 4 or 5 types of Filas. You know what I'm saying? You have your Kafib, you got your CBKC, working line, CBKC, show line. Then you have your American Filas, which is, I think, FDI, and then you have your other American Filas that are just like the pet bull. Like you can get a pit bull on the street.
Right.
It's still a pit bull, but it's not a pit bull type
right.
of deal. And then, certain people just, the purebreders, I think that's in every breed of dog. They don't care for what I'm doing. But if they actually put their hands on one of my dogs, they're like, damn, this is actually a really, a good dog. Like my dogs are like legit good.
Right. I feel like regardless of and with most animals, I think that this would hold true in most cases. I mean, if you have an animal, I mean, that's just like with 2 humans. Humans only outcross. You know what I mean? We only outcross. You know what I mean? And in general, we only outcross. So if the genetics are good, then 90% of the time, the genetics are going to be good. You know what I mean? Doesn't matter if the mom is black and the dad is white, or this guy's skinny and this guy's short and fat, and they have a baby. Like the genetics, it may not be what you like you just said. It may not be what you like. Doesn't mean the dog's not healthy. Doesn't mean the dog's not capable.
I just seen a comment said it's a girl in Canada that got Pressa Fila cross.
Yeah, those are
hey, that's tight, bro. Yo,
yeah.
trying to hit my draft. Do a breathing.
Yeah, Doug, those are his dogs. Doug, yeah, he bred those dogs. Yeah, we know her. She Callie, she co-hosted a couple shows with me on my original YouTube channel, my original K9 YouTube channel.
To be honest, I think those I call those the F1s, and then this accidental that I got. I think those are the last dogs that are coming out my yard for a long, long time. Nobody is ever touching what I have anymore.
Closed. What we call it in the reptile, closed yard. We call it closed collection. That's what I'm preparing to do over here. Yeah, well, let me backtrack just a little bit, because this is something that's important that I wanted to start off with, but I got a bit sidetracked. Like, in order for you to do what you're doing right now and to be successful to some extent, to be comfortable to some extent, secure, really for what you're doing, to have some integrity behind it. I mean, like, you're not in the city. You're not one of these guys saying that you have a kennel with 3 dogs and you really can't have more than that. You're not. I mean, you're out. You're in the sticks. You know what I mean? Like, you're out. I know you've called me like, man, my dog got bit by a snake. Like, I don't know. I didn't see it. His face swelled up. I'm like, I don't know. I don't know what kind of snake it was to really tell you. You could be okay, or it could be, or it might not. It could be all bad. Like, I don't know. So you I just did a podcast about environmentals, and you and your dogs and everything are in this environment. You have the environment. You got hogs like around where you are. Within proximity, you have, you can create this versatile dog because you have a versatile environment. Like, what was the process of going through, like, acquiring that land? Not necessarily like how much it costs, but like when you started to put this together, did you already have the land, or was this like, I want to put this program together, so I have to get these things?
So it was definitely the program that motivated me, but I always wanted to, what I'm saying, be out in the country, regardless. Wherever I was, I always wanted to be out in the country. But the program definitely put the fuel to the fire. Especially when I had Mawaji. Being in the city with Mawaji was just not cutting it. He needed room to run. I'm saying, do what they do. I'm saying, I needed more room for my dogs, because where I was at, I was only allowed 5 dogs.
Right.
And, I'm saying, that's not gonna work when you have.
Right. Yeah. Once you have one litter, it's over. Yeah.
No, for real. So, like I said, if it wasn't for the Most High, I want to be here. I had to keep quiet, cut out a lot of people, don't let people know your plans and all that shit. Cause some people want you close by, and I couldn't be close by, so like, nah.
Right. No, I know how that is. So
I had to get the hell out of Atlanta and move south. But yeah, I got me a nice little spot. It's not that hard, y'all. Do it. If y'all really want to do this dog shit and really want a program and really say you have a program, and you can really look at what you have and study and watch and get some land, bro, because you can see, it's the environmentals, you can actually see them in a natural state instead of,
right. Unless you're trying to create a dog that lives in the city, then you got to go through the proper.
I mean, I got dogs. I have dogs that live in the city that's, off my yard, but I don't know. I feel like if you have a program, not knocking people that's not there yet, because I believe that's everybody's goal, is to, get some land. You should have some land, bro. Like,
Right.
who who really motivated me too at the same time? I gotta shout them out. Designer Mastiff, bro. Like, Designer Mastiff really pushed it there for me. Like, all right, man, this brother doing it. 2 brothers. Shout out to both of them. It was Dooley Mastiff and Designer Mastiff.
Yeah, you have to. You
They
got
both,
to.
They both, Dooley was still where he was, but Designer Mastiff, you know what I'm saying, was out there, and I was like, yeah, nah, I'm gonna be out there too. So shout out to.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. All those things are, like I said, the environmentals are important, and that's what I was saying. Like, unless you are breeding dogs to live in the city full time, but then you have to go through and get your permits and your license, and even then, like, what kind of, like, if you live in DC somewhere, we don't have yards in DC. Where you gonna keep all them dogs?
Yeah,
So
there's no restrictions.
and right, and see, that's the thing. Like, and I get it. Like, okay, I want to create an urban dog for urban protection, and that's absolutely something that's needed. But you're gonna have to bring that dog to the environment every day, unless you just get lucky somewhere like right outside of the city, like 10-15 minutes. But it's gonna be expensive. So closer you live to the city, the more you're gonna pay. So if you can afford that type of environment, great, go ahead and do it. But so you got your land. You start, you're like, you want to put this program together. How do you start processing these other dogs into the program? How did you start? Like, I want this, I need this. That'll be a good one. That one won't work, or I'm gonna try this one. I'm not for sure. How
How
did
do you
that process? Yeah,
how do you how do you
how did you
mean?
start? How did you start deciding what breeds you wanted to put into the
So
feeder?
so I already had a blueprint
Okay,
out there. I already had a pedigree written up and everything. The only two breeds that quote unquote that were getting added to the program were Melly and BT. And I had the Mally breeding twice with two different Mally bitches. The first Mally with she just demolished her fucking puppies. I never seen nothing like that day in my life. So I got rid of her. I found her a nice home, working home. And then the other bitch, she only gave me three puppies and a male had passed of Actidia. So I was left with females, and I kept them thinking I can, rebreed again and just get a puppy off that litter, but more idea in the past, and so that stops the line. Um, that kind of goes into breeding. So I'm doing a lot of inbreeding in the program. So Moaji's the base, and everything goes back to Moaji. So I can't use another son in my program or his son or his brother. It has to come off of that exact dog. The whole line starts from him. Same thing with if I won't be able to add another Rottweiler or another person. Everything has to tie in tight. That makes sense. So the pedigree is already written out. So the only dogs that are part of the program now are the Fila Dogo, Fila Rottweiler, Fila Pressa, and as of today, the Fila Dane.
got you. So it's just like we talked about earlier. It's kind of like the Fila itself is the apple orchard, the pure apple orchard. And
Right,
then you are the scientists coming in, like, and I got all these chemicals, which are the other breeds.
right,
And like you said, you're not lying to anybody about what you're doing.
right.
So
Yeah,
same, but it's a detailed process because, like I said, even those people to get you to drink chemical and be like, man, this is actually pretty refreshing. You know what I mean? Like that's some hardcore shit when you think about it. Because you look at like dextrose, that I can't even think of everything that's on there.
right.
Monodicglucide, blah 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 blah
I don't
blah.
think we're
And but it tastes kind of like apple juice a little bit. You know what I mean? And you drink it, so it's the same thing. Like it's Fila-ish, but that's the point. Like, it's not supposed to be a Fila. It's
right.
supposed to be Fila-ish.
Yeah,
So,
it's just to show certain traits of the dog. Um, I just like the Fila is a very loving dog, super super loving, loyal. They always want to be next to you. They don't trust nobody. You know what I'm saying? They don't trust
right.
nobody. I mean, at the end of the day, you can get a Fila to like it. Feelers do get adopted. There's people that do adopt out full-grown feelers. I had people hit me up on full-grown feelers. I don't have time to get a dog used to me getting used to my dog. But they're a dog at the end of the day. I think documentary TV, he got to see some feelers, and he said the same thing. They're not these. They are ferocious, but they're not this huge, scary ass fucking dog. They are, but they aren't. If that makes sense.
Well, the environmentals have changed. Once you bring the dog somewhere else anyway, especially that far away from where it comes from, especially if it's in that setting where it is always kind of like on edge, where it
Right.
does calm down a bit. It's like even like I brought this cobra from Africa. He's been here for 3 years. I could let him go in the wild, like back in Africa, and he'd be great. But
Right.
he's been here, he's settled down, he knows who I am. Like I come in now, he's kind of chill out, he doesn't hood up anymore. It's kind of the same thing, the environmentals. But don't get it twisted, that venom, don't nothing
Yeah.
change about that. You know what I mean? No matter how chill this snake is, no matter how many people you see on the internet with king cobras and mangshangs wrapped around their neck, like you said, a fila can be just like that deadly king cobra. But if that
Right.
snake bites you, that's your ass.
Right. I
It's
mean,
like
at the same time, at the you about 90% of the time, you're not gonna see the female be ferocious. I mean, if you live in the city, yeah, probably, but out in the country, like not not so often.
Yeah, there's a lot of Karens around.
They're super chill, bro. They're not they're chill dogs, man.
They were Pressas and Filas have a real similar temperament. Like they are really relaxed dogs, but they will explode. And when they do, you know what I mean? Like if you
They're
got a
super
real one,
chill.
they will chill. They will lay around. They will do whatever you want them to do. They have similar builds. They have that. You know, they call it the camel walk for
Yeah,
the Fila and the cat walk for the Pressa. But ultimately, their build, their structure is. That's why when you cross them, you know, I hit you up many times. I'm like, bro, but I had already had dogs. I'm like, man, but that's a. I'm like, man, that's a hell of a cross right there. And you know, even me at the beginning, I didn't know. I was skeptical. Like, man, what is this nigga doing, man? Let me, but I'm gonna see because I like. Obviously, I
a
like
lot of
danger.
people, a lot of people, bro. Listen,
I'm all about crossing. I could have cared less that you were crossing dogs because I'm all for that. You know, I'm all for if you're doing it, if you got a purpose behind it, I'm all
right,
for that. But I know those two dogs well. But if it's a, like you said, a dog is a dog at the end of the day. You know, there is where it differs. Like this snake, I can't train this snake. You know what I mean? Like if he's gonna do something, he's gonna do it no matter how long he's been here, how well I've treated him, how well I've fed. You know what I mean? With the dog, there's a less chance of that happening under the right circumstances.
right.
So, but what is he? I'm trying to read the comments. But yeah, I was skeptical, like, but I wanted to see because I like dangerous shit. So I want to see what he's doing. But and if
I
I
mean,
hadn't have had my, I would have
I
bought
had
one.
people hit me up telling me stories about the past, about shit that happened in the past, and I'm like, bro, that's not have those dogs in the past no more. And if we do, they're really rare to find.
Yeah, there weren't a lot of Fila crosses in general any at any point. Like,
Yeah,
I mean, because when I met you, we started talking. Like, you prompted me to look more into it. Like, I had heard of a couple Fila press. So I have been told more than once that and if you go to my Instagram, Champa's brother looked like a Fila. A lot of people thought that I had a Fila. They're like, man, you bought a Pressa and a Fila. I'm like, nah, bro. I was like, you know, they use some of these guys use Fila in their Pressa line.
right.
And so but to me, I'm like, I was very impressed. That to me, that outside of the Fila Dogo that you did is the most impressive cross to me. And I think those two dogs work well together. And the dogs that Doug was talking about, to me, that Callie has, like those dogs are very impressive. And it does have to do with what she does with them because them dogs could have the ability to be impressive. And if she wasn't doing shit with them, then who would know? You know
Right,
what I mean? How well your dogs really are.
right.
So
And a lot of people like majority of my dogs are on farms or um there's only a few that are like in the inner city. I have no bad reports, like no whatsoever. Like I'm waiting to this day, like, okay, what's up with the dog? The dog, fucked somebody up or no, they got a job and they do their job. If you know how to
right,
handle a dog, you can handle a
right,
lot of dogs or a feeler.
right. Yeah, no, you know, I used to hit you up all like, man, boy, if I was trying to get some dog, but no, I because in 1999 when I was in college, like my dissertation was what you're doing. I think we talked about that. That's I wrote a 20-page paper about because I wanted to do it. You know what I mean? So to me, to anybody like you, Lamone, anybody that is really putting it down like from scratch, though, like you know what I mean, and putting it together and really thinking about it and going all out. Like I want to see it, even if the dog is some shit. I still want to see it. You know what I mean? Because it's still a learning process, even for me and for other people, and for for whoever is doing it. But it was your goal, or like I asked Lamone, um, the reason why he started crossing dogs was he becoming less impressed with what dogs were available currently? Was that another reason, or was it just something you just
Um,
wanted to do? in general.
But
I mean,
it's
I
just
obviously, but
like I said, it started from I love it dogs, period. Um, and then just seeing that dog dozer with that feeder blood, I'm like, bro, and he was a crossbred. I was like, I'm gonna do it. And then, listening to a couple of old heads back home about how to breed and how you should breed, even off a line. Basically, it was just a line of that one breed of dog. So I had a guy that I knew. I used to help take care of his dogs. I was a kennel boy, and he did a lot of inbreeding and line breeding off his own bloodline. And just me just listening, I just stuck around and picked up game. And then I met this older white guy when I got into beagles, and he had 50 years of his own line of beagles and never outcrossed, ever outcrossed. Everything was inbred and line bred, back over and over again. So if he had a dog and he wanted more nose or a slower dog or a faster dog, he would bring that pup to his great uncle or cousin. Like,
right, he must have had a lot of dogs.
yeah, but it was all the same shit.
Right, right. So
It
I'm
was,
saying he must, yeah,
yeah,
kind of like,
and he had one goddamn dog left on his yard, and he was like already 15, but he just he knew how to breed. And then like I never, you don't hear people talk like that. Even now, it was only one person. He's got a lot of controversy online, and Mike Morales. He was the only person I ever heard really talk about inbreeding and line breeding.
close. Yeah, not a lot of people. When some people hear it, even in the reptile world, I did a whole 2-hour podcast on it, and as
Yeah.
soon as some people hear it, they automatically are just like,
Yeah, no, you have to. I mean, you have to. You have to. If you
yeah, you
want
have to.
to, yeah. There's no going around. You have to to get what you want and to see what you want. You have to, and it takes time. Um, in high class, we got in a conversation a couple. I think it was either 2 years ago or last year, where it was coming up where like even on my behalf, where he's like, well, new when you have your fifth generation, you really don't know the life expectancy of your dog, because your dogs haven't lived a full life. You haven't had a dog live a full life on your yard. Yeah, and he said it's going to take 2 more generations to get that. You know what I'm saying? To quote unquote have a true standard. I was like, damn, you're right. It's going to be like 30 years to, really know what the fuck
Yeah,
number
and
one.
it well depends on how many dogs you're using too. The more dogs, the longer it takes.
Yeah,
Because I did it, my paper was with 3 dogs, and with 3 dogs, I managed to be on paper, managed to be able to do it in 10 years. With only 3 dogs, though. If I had added a fourth dog, it probably would have been another 3 to 5 more years added onto
yeah.
that for like every other dog.
Then that's where they come in is you don't really know the life expectancy of that dog. You can't really say, well, my dog's going to be 10 years or
Well,
12
right.
years.
You don't even know what kind of congenial defects they might have because some of that shit can't even be tested for. Especially
Exactly.
if you've already sold
When he broke
pups.
that shit
So
down to me, I was like, yo, I never thought about that. I thought, once you get a certain, he's like, nah. And he said, bro, look at a lot of these other people that have these, these programs and stuff, and they don't have old dogs. They don't have, what I'm saying, some of the original dogs anymore. So they're not really looking at how this dog will function when it gets older or any other stuff. Like, yo, that's crazy, bro.
a new dog that exhibit a new breed that exhibits that perfectly, especially for its size, is the those micro bullies, because we know generally young smaller dogs live anywhere for 15 to 20 something years, when these micro bullies are dropping off, and that's genetic at like 5 years, maybe 6 years. You getting at it like, why I wouldn't even buy no shit like that. And then you know what I mean. So genetically that dog can't go past its fifth human year. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like that's a
Right.
waste. And that's something you can definitely breed into. It's just like you can breed, I mean, anything. You can breed a dirty dog. You can breed a shit eater. If you keep that and you don't anything you don't correct, It's even with your kids. It's all genetic. Anything you do. So yeah, if you got somebody that really messed up genetics and you lock that in, that shit gonna come back around at some point. And if you keep locking, that's the thing. Is like, would you say that a lot of people really don't know their dogs, or would you say that? I mean, on average, like the average breeder, in my opinion, I don't really think that, because a lot of their dogs live in the kennel like 80% of the time.
I got, y'all hear that hound going on? I got a
Yeah.
coon hound. I got a coon hound going off right now.
Yeah, you be out there all the
Yeah.
time.
I got
All
coon hounds. I got hog dogs, man. I enjoy being in the woods with my dogs, man. I really truly do. Like even with the coon hound shit, like, man, that's so much money in coon hounds. People just don't know. Man.
Yeah, no, they're for sure, because that stuff is generations, decades back. You know what I mean? And it just depends. Some of those dogs, like paperwork pedigrees, like stamps, is just worth money, or
If
stuff. But
you if you if you dive into how coon dogs are bred, the paper behind it, the money in those dogs, boy, one day I consider just get rid of my whole damn program.
yeah, there's some exotic animals that are like that too.
I
Like,
was
man,
like, yeah, listen, I get, so you telling me I can get paid for my dog puppies in the future if they win? Like if they win hunts, I can get checks in the mail? Yeah, that they're about to have dropped 500 puppies, and out of those 500 puppies, 200 become champion and start winning all that other shit, bro. That's $20, $30 check in the mail each time they win. That's paper. That's the starting point. Cool hounds is where it's at, man.
I mean, but that's a part of it. I mean, there's always been competition, sport. There's always been prizes. So the goal was the whole thing, with from the show to the field. I don't give a fuck if it's reptiles or dogs. From herpetology to herpetoculture, there's always that fine line between show and work. But there is middle ground there, and uh, you should definitely be rewarded for the hard work that you put in, for sure. You disappeared on us. Oh, there you go.
Can't get that boy to shut up for nothing.
But yeah, knowing what you got on your yard is very important. And I know we've talked about it. I know you talked about this a lot with other people, is being kennel blind, because you spent so much money on the dog, and you like, man, that dog is some shit, but you like, I'm gonna breed it anyway. You know what I mean? And just go.
A lot of people are like that. A lot of people chase after the name, chase after pedigrees. That was like one of my biggest thing when it came to looking for my Rottweiler. When I started chasing after the pedigree and the papers, and I just kept running after bitches that were just, they were ugly. They were too short. Their bodies was bigger than their heads. Their heads were too small. Muzzles too small, but they had pretty pads, and I was like,
Mm-hmm.
can't do this shit, bro. I want that. I want that bitch. And I ended up, you know what I'm saying? I ended up getting her. She was all Rottweiler. It's all Rottweiler. From head to toe.
What now? Oh man, I had a question and I lost it that fast. Okay. Well, I'm gonna piggyback off of Doug's question. He asked, were you gonna cross the Pressa Dogo into the Pressa Fila?
I
Uh,
could. I could. Now, Doug, hit my line. I could do that. 30K, you can have the whole litter, man.
he said 30K, the whole litter.
30K. We talking
Hey,
business.
he said the whole litter.
Hey, if any of y'all want any of these crosses that is not a part of my program, but I got these dogs, drop the bag. You can have it. The whole litter. I'll whelp the whole litter and everything. You can have the whole litter.
I mean, y'all can go and see some of these dogs in action, some of these crosses in action. So, I don't bring no bullshit on the show. So, like I said, I told y'all straight up when I seen him, I was skeptical, but here he is, and I know people that got his dog. So, I definitely, if you don't follow him, go check him out, man. This dude be in the field. So, he like me when I'm out in Indonesia. This dude out really really dropping loads on hogs, like with his dogs, with these crosses. So, um, let's say 10 years down the road, right? Hypothetically, 10 years down the road, you continue with this program and you get this dog. You get the dog that you want. Um,
like 15, but
let's say 15.
yeah, 15.
15.
Probably
So
15, yeah, probably longer. It's gonna be a minute.
so you so let's say you so whenever
Yeah.
this happens, let's say you get this dog, right? You get it, you get a few. What's the first thing that you're gonna do with this dog? Like, what is the first thing now
So the
that
first
you
thing
have
that
to
I'm
do
gonna
with this
do
dog?
is the dog is gonna have his name.
It's gonna have its what?
His name.
Okay.
The actual breed itself of the dog name. That's the first thing. Um, After that, I really can't say.
Would you consider maybe like shipping some, like hitting some people up, like maybe, random people? Like I said, it's just hypothetical, but it's something that people do, overseas or maybe even.
I ain't doing that. Listen, I ain't doing that. I try to hit people up to give them free. I had people
Well,
watch
that's what
me
I was gonna say, to let
give
them
free.
test out your dog
So,
to.
so what I'm gonna do is, like I said, um, it's closed down. The yard is closed down off of that program. I experimented with doing across where I did Fila Mally to Fila Pressa, and I only had two puppies. So one puppy is going to Detroit, and I'm keeping a puppy just to get into some sport work. That was generally for the public. I tested it out to see what was going to happen, and God, I'm saying, said, hell no. These people, they don't deserve it. You know what I'm saying? They don't deserve what you got. They just gonna have to sit back and watch. And then
Hey, be like that sometimes.
God made other plans. Well, I had a bitch literally goddamn in a crate, bust out a window out my shed, and acted a fool and got stuck. So I have 5 bitches available. You know what I'm saying? But that's that's the only Fila stuff that you're gonna see on my yard ever. You know what I'm saying? Unless I do another, I'll probably do a purebred Fila in 2 years per se.
Hmm.
But anything off of that, my blood or program is not testing the public no more. Somebody else already has those dogs.
Got you. So let's talk about like just being out in the field a little bit, like because that obviously that's something that you really enjoy doing, you know with or without dogs, but obviously with dogs, like how much time do you spend out there, like on a week, in a week, how much time are you out there?
Yeah, the dog depends if I'm hustling or not, but I could go. I do all day, man. I'll be out there from 8 o'clock to 8 o'clock, 12 hours with the dogs. You know, I load up the truck. And even that's the hunt dogs, or what I'm saying, with my master. Yeah, we go out. We go on a hike. There's nobody. Literally, I go to spots where there's like nobody, just deer and fucking probably foxes and owls and shit. I'll go fishing and let the dogs do what they do. I'll just be out there fishing. If I don't catch shit, I don't catch shit. But I get to watch my dogs and do what they do and swim.
Generally, how many dogs do you generally take with you when you go out?
Well, the big dogs. No, I'm sorry. Uh, if it depends. I mean, it could be one dog or it could be six. I haven't done six in probably like a year and a half. I ain't gonna lie. Last time I had goddamn they got fucking chasing deers and shit, and I had no tracking collars on them big motherfuckers. I was like, oh my god, I lost my whole goddamn yard. But but yeah, just I do two or three at a time. Puppies, I bring the whole litter out. Whereas in the older dogs, two or three at a time. Whoever can stand each other, we go out. But mainly like this bitch right here. she hates people. Like she does not give two fucks about anybody. So she don't go out no more.
So then, now as far as going out and doing hog work, because that's that's serious business. And I know you do that quite often. What let's say let's say you're getting ready to go out. Let's say you're going out tomorrow to go do some hogging, right? What
Right.
what what? How many dogs would you bring, and which dogs would you bring, and why would you bring those
So
dogs? If you can
as
do it in the,
so
if you
as
can.
a Go ahead. I keep cutting you off. My
No,
bad.
I was gonna say if you could do it in there because I know that's a lot like to unpack. But if you can do that like in the, so you don't have to. I don't want you to, have to say too much. But it's a lot to come out. But yeah,
So I have two shitty ass bay slash tracking dogs as of right now. Um, so that's one, two. I got puppies in training, three, four. Catch dogs. I got three main catch dogs, which is a Catahoula Boxer Cross. She's kind of quitting on me. I got my old man and new bitch, which is a Presta Pit Cross. Or I got my T Tally, which is a little fucking pocket rocket monster. Um, so that's the total six dogs. I'll probably bring two catch dogs. I started bringing Saba out a little bit more, but I'm still want to use them, but I don't want to use them, but I don't want to lose them. If that makes sense. That's why like
got you.
any of my dogs in the program, I went out there and I tested them to see what they got, to see if they will catch. Because trust me, I've seen dogs go out there and they did not catch. You know what I'm saying? They were scared or scared.
Now, and having said that, now I know we have a lot of the same mutuals. So, and a lot of these guys um, also do some crosses in their own right. And I know a lot of y'all do swap dogs and things like that. Like, who have you gotten a dog from? Like one of your favorite dogs that's a hybrid or a cross that you got from someone that I might know that you use.
Well, I got a dog from Creative Crosses. His name is Scrappy. He ain't no hog dog, but he'll bite a mother. Hey, I took him out and he was out hunting some hogs, and one of my bros, outlaw bull terriers, came down. The young boys that run with me. Scrappy was trying to get his ass in the damn hog. Motherfucker jumped on my truck onto the dog box. Scrappy jumped right up there after his ass. Like, yeah, I can't bring you out. But I got Scrappy from Creative Cause. He's a good dog.
What is that? What cross is that? What
So
what breed is that?
he's a uh, Dutch Shepherd. God damn, it's got so many. I think Dutch Shepherd, Corso, Pit Bulls, Steve San Miguel. Oh, fuck. It's some other. It's I think one
He's got
other.
quite a few dogs in there. I know.
But
Yeah.
then he took that. He took the F1s of his, and then he did the inbreeding for his sister.
Excuse me.
I forgot how many damn dogs, but he looked like a straight goddamn shepherd. That's my road dog. I'm not gonna let you. Nobody cannot get in my truck if his ass is in there. I had one dude. I did a job, and I had a one dude was loading some shit on the back of my truck, and Scrappy was going off. He's like, "God damn, bro, what the fuck that is, man?" I was like,
I think a lot of his dogs, a
he
lot
was
of
like, "That's a
Paul's
bill." I was
dogs
like,
are.
"That's a bill shepherd." He said, "How much that motherfucker cost about staying $500?" I like, "See what mom said $500." I was like, Scrappy was nutting up on the back of that truck.
A lot of Paul's dogs are ornery like that though. A lot of that stuff that he got is will bite the shit out
Oh
of you.
yeah, no, they definitely man biters, man. Yeah.
So outside of dogs, I mean, I know you mess with some other stuff too. Monitors, because we talk about everything on here.
Used to. My monitor
Used to,
died.
yeah, monitors. What else? You had geckos, or you
I
got
had
some geckos
gecko,
now.
turtle. Yeah, that's about it. I try to get back in the monitors, but I had
Yeah, I tried to sell him a croc monitor.
didn't even have them, bro. I went on Facebook. They was like, "Those are illegal." I'm like, "Illegal since when?" I missed the memo.
Yeah, they
Bro,
cracked.
I had it all growing up, man. I fucking catch turtles, snakes, goddamn baby ducklings, bring all that shit home. My mom used to trip out on me.
Yeah, I know how that shit is.
I was a little boy in the hood doing weird shit, but still beat a nigga ass. Like, he over there, think that boy got a goddamn lizard. Catching
Hey,
salamanders and shit. Yeah.
so let's see. I know we had some questions in here. Um, let me see. Let me see. So Jay said, "What's a new Mastiff?" Um, is there an answer for that right now?
That's what people call them. So I just call them that. Like I said, my dogs don't got a name on them. Like, I even get tired, like, yeah, this is the fetal route rally, people. Like I say it all the time. But, that's what people do, because people's like, you need to put a name on them. It's marketing. But I'm not doing that. So I just stuck with it, new master. It's nothing. It's just me, new dog man, and his master.
Let's see. Uh, yeah, Jay said he had a lot of questions, so you know, let's get some of them questions in the comments. Who else is in there? I know we got some. I know we got some secret warriors in here.
Okay.
Silent weapons for secret wars.
No, that's a must, man. I definitely created a crowd of some weirdos. I ain't gonna lie to you.
For sure. I
But
know. Now you got to expect that
but
though.
at the end of the day, though, I appreciate them, because what I'm saying, it's they not showing me love, but they show me love at the same time, because I'm obviously doing something right.
I don't think. I think you think that. Okay. Or anybody really who got any questions. I've asked a lot of questions. I mean, I got a couple more, but or let me read through some of the comments. So let's see. Doug said he's seen a what did it say with this new breeding you're doing? What kind of animals will they be able to catch?
What new breeding?
Yeah, I don't. I know you got dogs on the yard, but that was accident though, right?
Uh, yeah, so since I'm on here, I do have an accident. I had two accident litters.
Yeah, you got
Same
accident.
dog. I got the blue tick. I know people was like, yo, I thought I had a blue tick Catahoula litter, but come to find out, I have a blue tick Gila Rottweiler litter. So
Blue
that
tick
motherfucker,
Elarati.
yeah. So he got two of my bitches knocked up. Like I said, I had a couple of accidental litters, and I trust me, guys, I did my fucking best for this shit not to happen. But at the same time, I cannot not put up my yard dog, if that makes sense. I
Right.
can keep the bitches contained, but I cannot not have my yard. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
That's the whole. Right. That defeat the whole purpose of.
Yeah.
It's like having an estate dog, and you got them in the.
If I had bitches out there running loose in the yard with the heat, that's just probably waiting to happen. But I cannot. So I had two. I did my best, and yeah. So out of now that blue tick, um, Fila Rottweiler cross, I will be keeping two or three or four of those puppies for Hawkeye, because my female Fila Rottweiler, I used her. She hit hog one time. I just needed to see that, but I used her specifically for uh wounded deer recovery, and she does a phenomenal job at it.
He said, "So what does this see? Where your finished product? Oh, that's Rogue Wolf. Will be a dog that leans more towards tracking or catching."
Um, it can do both, man. They can track and catch. Hey, listen, that dog that did the wounded deer shit, the feeling right while she it was a bad shot. She caught that fucking deer. She tracked that deer and caught it. So that's just the point. I mean, they can track. I know for a fact they can track. They all can track.
A Fila into a lurcher.
All right. So now, see, I had to get that clear. I'm not the type to just put feeler to other dogs. That's not my whole stilo. Like, oh, well, let me put a feeler to the pit bull. No, I had a goal. I had a goal. I had a program. I had a blueprint, and I wanted to stick to that. I did I did the one breeding when I started out Mawaji with the Dane, and that was it. Like I was just doing that, and I didn't want no parts of that. Like I didn't want that dog at all. But I had a couple people talk me into getting that puppy and keeping him, and I did, and I'm grateful I did. Because, like I said, I still needed that other puzzle piece since Mawaji died, and the Danes are dope. The Fila Danes are dope.
Are they? I remember when you did that because I think I hit you up about one of those. You was like, "Yeah, that's the one I'm keeping." Those were some really nice dogs that litter you had. How big did they? How old are they now?
The Fila Danes, they are a year. They were born in September, I believe. So they a year and what, 10, 8, I don't know, whatever, a year and some change.
How what's the weight and the heights on them? Do you know?
So Saba, I think, is the biggest out of them all, and he's probably pushing. Now, mind you, I thought Mawaji was like an easy buck 50. I threw that motherfucker on the scale. He was only 125. So Saba has to be, if I'm saying, he's probably like 130, probably 140.
So I'm that question threw my question off, but it said, "What traits did the Fila bring to the table?" Oh, I know what I was. Before you answered, I was going to ask you that Fila Dane cross in my head. Um, that dog, and so this is what I see in my head. So you tell me if I'm wrong or right. Is it more? Does it look more like a shorter Dane, but a little bit more bulkier?
It depends. I mean, what Saba, yay, but Saba keeps having these growth spurts. Like he it's crazy. Like if I show you pictures from him from September to now, you'd be like, what the fuck? That's the same dog. Like even like they just posted me on World Dog, whatever it's called. I forgot what his name is. And I sent him a picture of Saba, like and he don't even look like the same dog now. Like he's like 40 pounds heavier. Like he's a bigger dog, like more wider. So I feel like once he hits two, he's gonna be at his full potential weight wise. With with the crosses, my males tend to mature slowly physically. Like Tattoo, my Fila Presser, motherfucker was ugly. He looked like Santa's little helper, little scrawny looking thing. For a year and a half, almost 2 years, and then when he filled out, he bulked up. I was like, oh, you that nigga. You know what I'm saying? Attitude, the match, everything. Like he real deal. So I'm just gonna wait till he matures out to really stay. Because right now he's just damn, that's a big ass spider. He just hold on, y'all, bitch. But he just, still going through his ugly stages.
So he said, "What traits did the Fila bring to the table? The only Fila I met was a one-person dog."
I don't know, but I don't know what the feeling range to table, man. To be honest, I don't fucking know. I really can't tell you that, man. It just brings a lot, bro. It really does.
I mean, these dogs, I have to imagine like these dogs got a lot of substance and bone on them
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Like my
for
Philadelphia,
sure.
man. Like my Philadelphia bitch, her name is Tita. And then my Philadelphia male, which is Tano, are like day and night. Like Tita is like slim, athletic, built. That bitch is like a fucking bullet. And Tano, he's like a tank, man. He just big. Rock. He always had bone on him. Like he was just a big bone dog. Now that we on that subject, that just popped in my head. So with the Philadelphia crosses, I was running into a problem with. I'm gonna say it out in public. Fuck it. When when I do the breeding with them, I'm scared it might pop out again, but it may play with the food. So with the Philadelphia cross, I was getting knuckling. Or one or two puppies will knuckle. Now that's not just with that one breeding pair, Mwaji and Rain. I bred Mwaji to another doggo named China, and I had a puppy do the same exact thing where it was knuckling. So that's something that I have to see if it's just the two dogs or something with the Philly go. Those two crosses where I get knuckling out of because both breedings. Matter of fact, all three breedings I did that knuckling shit.
I
So
wonder if they have a similar dog in their background
I don't know. That's
that
the
could be
only cross that I'm getting that knuckling shit, and I have to drop the protein, and they have to get the pup have to get more sunlight.
because yeah, that that the doggos, man, they went through a lot of dogs, a lot of breeds to, and there's a few that they use to make the Fila. So I wonder if maybe they've got, because the reason I say that
Well,
is because sometimes in genetics it's like if you let's say like I was saying, like if they have a common ancestor on each side, and then when you put them together, it can cause something like that. So that's why that was the first thing that come to mind is they might have a similar ancestor.
but listen, it got me because it ended up happening to the two different females.
Right, and that's why I say that. Like, it seems like
Yeah,
it might be
but
something that's
it's
common
only
on both
that dog, so
sides.
it threw me for a loop. So when that breeding takes place, I have to like study. I can either experiment and go all in with the food side. I have everything written down, so I'm still trying to figure that cost out as well. If I when that comes, I just wanted to bring that to the public eye that there's a flaw in a breeding, and that's one of them is the knuckling from that cross.
Richard White said,
Callie
"Do you have a?"
Texas, go ahead, go ahead.
No, I said Richard White said, "Do you have a favorite cross?"
Do I have a favorite cross out of the breeding?
Yeah, that you've done.
I don't know. I kind of like all of them. They all have their. If it was me, the hottest dogs are the feeder dogos. Those are just plain hot. Those dogs are just
I can imagine.
they're hot, hot dogs. But yeah, I don't know, bro. That's hard. I like all of them. They have their own little thing.
Let's see. It says with crossing all these dogs, what is your best outcome?
God knows. God knows.
Yeah, what does it say? How do you like the German Jag Terrier for hogs?
Uh, I heard those dogs on hogs are disposable. They ain't gonna last too long. That's what I heard for somebody that went through like I think he said 20 or 30 of them on hogs.
Let's see. Uh, It says, I love the idea of the type looking at hybrids. Outliers are back crossing to the phenotype. New dogman's doubling up on the Fila 50% with 25%. Outcross of Dogo and Pressa is nice also.
Thank you, thank you. I should just post the pad up. If y'all hear what I'm saying and y'all can get it and you will see the blueprint and then the numbers behind it. And the numbers behind it is just, it's immaculate. Like it's there. The dog is there. It's just the time.
It says, nice. Let's see. I'm trying to see if I see any more. It says that pic behind you look like a Fila Dane cross, but that's a full Fila, right?
Yeah, that's my favorite bitch. I imported
Yeah.
from.
It says, I think that's it. It says GSD Mal Dutchy crosses can create highly functional dogs, but they're all ugly. So shit, man. Don't have any more. No more questions. How many people we got in here? 27. So we got like 15 people that ain't saying shit.
It's the oldest dog I've had as in my entire life that I've owned.
Or is he asking like how long? What was the oldest living dog you had? Maybe.
Oh, I still have a beagle. Well, my cousin haven't contacted me yet. That bitch has got to be 17 years old right now.
Oh, Doug. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead. I was
The
saying somebody
oldest
had a
dog I
question.
have in my yard, he'll be 7 in next month that I bred. He'll be 7 next month.
Doug wants you to explain knuckling. Do you have experience with that?
So basically, knuckling is either too much protein in the food where the dogs start to wobble a little bit. You know, you have to Google it. It's like almost like rickets.
Yeah, I was
I
gonna say it's more severe than rickets. Like,
I had a dog, coonhound. A guy bought a coonhound puppy from me, and that motherfucker started doing it. He said, "Bro, what the fuck is this?" I was like, "Oh shit, bro, I seen that in one of my closets." But sometimes it's just too much protein. And if you don't correct it early on, your dog fucking stays all fucked up.
yeah, I remember back in the '90s when I used to get pit bulls, and I used to go and buy, like, I used to wholesale pit bulls from people, like, and buy them, and like keep the ones I wanted, sell the ones I didn't, and I would get some that would have rickets, and this was like 96, 97. So I would go to the pet store and they had, I don't know if you remember, if anybody in the comments remember, they had, this is back when they had this Sab cream. It was pink. It was called Flies Off. They don't make that shit no more. I don't know why. That shit was amazing, bro. Like if a fly even flew like that close to it, they would just drop dead. But we would put it on dogs with cropped ears because the flies be fucking with their ears. So you'd put that pink shit on the ears, like, man, you'd go out there and it'd just be just dead flies everywhere. But they made these pills called Cal Detron. They don't make those anymore either. And that's how I would correct rickets
Yeah,
with those pills because they
yeah.
weren't getting enough calcium. But I had this guy, man, that I knew, like, he wanted me to sell him a dog like that. That was like bowed. And I'm like, bro, that's not good. He was like, nah, bro, I like that. I'm like, like, nah, bro, But
Yeah.
remember, Tom and Jerry, remember the
Yeah.
bulldog on Tom. And a lot of times you see that the bulldog is depicted like that with the bowed, because a lot of bulldogs were bowed like that, or a
Right.
lot of them were knuckled as well. So people thought, like, especially niggas, like, thought that shit, like, yeah, I
The
like, man, my
biggest
dog,
thing.
that nigga, they be describing the dog to you. That nigga like, he go, ugh. I'm like, nigga, that dog is fucked up, right?
Fucked up, right? Yeah.
While you getting hyped, while you hyping him up over here.
Right.
You're over here hyping up a bone deficiency. It's a calcium deficiency. But yeah, I
Niggas
had a
do
guy,
nigga shit.
he wanted me to sell him that. Like, he liked,
Yeah.
that was I had a it was a UKC dog, a purple ribbon dog. I don't remember no names on the pedigree. Give me a second. Oh. Hey Joe. Hey, you mind talking to New for a little bit? Sound like somebody's in my house.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I got you, bro. I'm gonna get you off the screen too. What's up, New?
That nigga just pulled out 15 blades and nobody
Yeah,
even
yeah. We ain't gonna air that. We ain't gonna do that. All right, let me go through these rest of these comments. Asiatic soldiers, long overdue. How you doing, brother? Anthro wants to know the temperament on the feelers and crosses.
The temperaments on the feeder crosses.
Yeah.
I don't,
All right.
I don't know, man.
They're good.
If y'all, if whoever people that know me, I don't know.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Good question, gatekeepers. Leave the bulldog alone, man. That's what he says. Uh this was a good one, Gabe Wilson. Do you plan on putting all them crosses together?
Of course, that's the whole plan.
Yeah. Okay, so Jay, I want to know, damn boy, motherfucker eyes getting bad. I want to know what's your reasoning on why you want to cross these dogs and if you will keep doing it.
So
Yeah.
I'm like Gabe just asked the question. Basically, they're all going to be mashed together. They're all going to be put together
Yeah.
to create that one breed of dog. But if you look, a lot of people outcross where they steady adding other dogs in their lines, or their band dogs, or creating their own dogs. They constantly add dogs in, so they don't have one set phenotype or temperament of the dog. They're just scattered all over the place. So with those crosses, they're all going to be connected together. So
Yeah.
once the F2s, it'll be F2s breeding with F2s and all that other good stuff. It's there. If y'all hear what I'm saying, y'all can see with your mind, y'all understand what I'm talking about. And you can connect the dots and actually build your own pedigree off of what the crosses that I've talked about, and you will see the numbers and how it look at the end.
He said, "Have you worked with the TOSA?"
No, I never worked with Tulsa. I've never seen one in person. So my program's been on 3 years and I still haven't dropped the F2. So 5 years, I'll probably have F2 soon. So it just be F2s. It takes time. I kind of like want all my dogs to be fully matured, three plus or older, basically between the ages 3 to 5 to do breedings.
He said, "Let's see how you feel about the working style bull terrier and AKC bull terrier."
The working bull terriers can breed. They can breed better on game.
Yeah, you got a you still have that dog?
Yeah,
That bull
still.
terrier?
Yeah, it's a bad little bitch.
So Doug said it's still in production. Yeah, I think is you talk Doug, you talking about in the white bottle? I'm not sure if that's the same recipe. Um I don't know. I think that's a white cream. I don't know. If you've used it, let me know in the comments if it works the same. Because I know the one they used to sell was in a tin. Um I know I think there was a Sab now that's in like a white container. But what did he say? What else do we have? He said can he see your pedigree? He trying to
30K. You can see it.
He said 30K. He said, "Did you answer this?" I didn't. I sort of sound like somebody was in my house. If it wasn't,
I think that's the side effects of every change. You got that strand called door knocker.
well, it would only be one other thing that ain't supposed to be here. So, but what did he say? He said it's okay. He said it's a white cream. He said, "Okay, I remember." Does it work the same? Is it because that pink shit, bro? That shit was dangerous to flies. Like it's the same. I don't know if it's the same. Okay. What about Caldetrons? Because I could never find those anymore. Anytime I look it up, it'll come up with like some other. I don't know if you remember
not
Caldetron.
to take nothing from Joe. That's his name, correct?
Joe?
Yeah, that's cute. Actually, the question.
Oh, Jay.
Jay. All right, but I dealt with a lot of bullshit in the past 3 years from people online. Wanted to know, wanted to see, wanted the dog, but never, you know what I'm saying, came forward. So I just, you know what I'm saying, I'm really blunt, really forward. You just have to wait, bro. You have to wait for the finished product. Like I said, it's gonna take some time. I don't post my dogs, my F1s like that, really, but they are working. They are doing what they do. I do have an agitator. I don't do no bite work with them. I don't do all that crazy shit. I just need to know my dogs, know what to do when it's time to do it. At the end of the day,
I mean, how much of a real pedigree would you have? Like at this point, you like kind of just. It's more of a. I'm not saying that you're not. I don't mean to say it like that. I'm trying to, because Jay's like, "Oh, can I see your pedigree?" At this point, you're still. You know what I mean? Like it's not because you haven't even got the finished product yet. So it's
right.
still like it's really not much of a real pedigree
It's
to
just
see.
it's a pedigree. It's the pedigree of the dog. Like I have a folder, well, a file cabinet folder thing, where each
Yeah, for
dog
everything you've been doing.
yeah, writing down, some shit. I got video documentation, picture documentation. It's a bunch of shit. And
But he's got people breeding his dogs, his F1s and F2s and selling them. So because those dogs Callie had, those were what?
Even people like I hate the people that got my that have the puppies. I'm like, hey, like yo, this shit right here, bro. This puppy's this. I've never seen a puppy. I'm like, all right, cool. Beans. Even though the dogs ain't on my yard, but it's basically it's F2s with the Fila foundation. The Fila is still the foundation of those puppies.
Yeah,
But
that litter, Callie just said that was a nice litter. So far. I want to see, a year from now, I'd love to see how they turn out.
she's that white one that they brought out. White dog.
Oh yeah.
That motherfucker, I like him a lot, like a lot. She was trying to get me to get one of the puppies so bad. I was like, I can do this thing in my yard, but I can't do it. Beautiful puppy.
Yeah, I had talked to her about even before she bred with the Fila about Champa, because that bitch that she has, like her and Champa, like them dogs look, you know what I mean? Them dogs look like male and female versions of each other. Like
so Xena has the most phenomenal structure. Xena and the Fila Dane bitch has phenomenal structure. Like just athletic as fuck.
yeah,
Like
that dog, yeah, that's a nice dog for real.
She's absolutely beautiful.
Yes, definitely one of my favorite dogs to see for sure. Yeah, I wish I can't say I wish I was at a different time. I would have definitely pushed that more because we talked about it, but then I was just like, man, I ain't trying to. I'm like, I am, but I'm really not. Like, I would love to do that, but I ain't trying. That would have been a nice litter though, for sure. But fuck, bro, we're at what, an hour and a half in? Unless you got some questions, some more thoughts, concerns, or anybody else got some questions in the comments.
Hey y'all, I'm more than just this Steelers shit, man. I just want y'all to know, like, if y'all all gonna cool her,
You said, what state are you hunting in?
that's mainly what I like to do. You know, the program is, that's a lifelong thing. Like I said, tomorrow I could be done with it. You know, but I'm always gonna be hunting dogs.
Anthro said, what state are you in? Where are you hunting in?
Joe, if you want to come, you look like he got a bulldog. What that is on his thing?
Looks like either a pit bull or maybe a SBT. It's hard to tell. Can't see it all. It's like one, or maybe it's a dog he made. I don't know.
Hey, man, come test your dog out on hog.
Looks like a nice dog though.
Yeah, come see what you can do.
Looks well defined from that picture.
Like I said, I seen a trash can dog come wreck shit. So I don't know.
Said thoughts on the Doge de Bordeaux and the Burble.
So I never seen whatever that first dog name.
The Doge, the French Mastiff.
Borbos I've seen in person. The only Borbo I've seen in person was Mastiff's dog, and his name is Bruno, and that's a fucking dog right there. That's a fucking dog.
I haven't been around the Burbles too much, but the Bordeaux's I'm familiar with. I like that old. If you go back in time in some of the pictures and look at, remember back in time they used to have their ears cropped, and they were a little bit more lean. But that's another dog that's a long dog. That surprisingly kind of like the English Mastiff in a way. A bit shorter, I think. I think it's a bit shorter than the English Mastiff, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know the English Mastiff standard like that, but I like those. I remember I used to look hard at those dogs because I had a cousin. He used to be obsessed with those dogs, and he ended up getting something else. But my grandfather's neighbors, they had like 6 of them. They would let out when I would come and visit them as a kid, and those dogs, see that big old orange dog like that. But then there were like some real slim, like remember Turner and Hooch?
Yeah.
Like that, I would want one like that. That's more, that dog seems a lot more functional to me, leaner,
Yeah.
more gamey.
I love dogs that are more working. Yeah.
Those Borables, man, I remember the first time I saw one, or even heard of that dog was on what's the Spanish dude's name? The Dog Whisperer.
Cesar Millan. Yeah,
Cesar Millan, right. He had the lady on the boat house had one. And that dog at that time, this was like what, either early 2000, like 99, I don't know, somewhere between 99 and the early 2000s. And that dog at that time just seemed so dumb to me. Like, man, like I would never want that dog. And then I just never, I never paid attention to it. I never heard anything really much about it anymore. And then like all of a sudden I started seeing them. I started seeing Boreable press crosses. And now, man, that dog is like upwards of what, like 160-pound minimum. Like I saw somebody said they had one that was like 200 pounds. Like, man, that's massive. That's a lot of dog. Like even like the Tosas, that's a big dog. And I've only ever seen maybe 3 of them in person, and 2 of them were in Japan. One of them was at a dog show in DC, and those dogs are huge. What do you say? If somebody buys a puppy in the future, how can we see the parents work? I mean, it would be like with it would be
Hey,
like the
listen,
same thing
hey,
with
bro,
like
I used to pull up. Hey, you know what's crazy? I used to pull
what
up with Milwaukee. Like, if somebody met me in Georgia, bro, I used to pull up with Milwaukee. Like, yo, you want to see one? Like, the one brother, I was like, yo, I'll let him out. He said, nah, he good. Milwaukee was cutting up. And I was like, fuck this shit. I'm letting Milwaukee out the cut. I mean, out the man, letting him out. Milwaukee was going ape shit. He was like, yeah, put him back in, put him back in. Oh, yeah, I got you, bro. But,
well,
like
all
I said,
your dogs are papered though, right? All your dogs that you breed, or most of them, and like your feelers are.
no, bro, no, man.
Or no, they're not. But I know your dogs came
No,
from
not at all, bro.
your
No.
dogs came from like good breeders though.
Oh, yeah, but nah.
Yeah, you just
No.
opted out.
Yeah, I just said fuck papers, bro.
Well, no, I used to do that back.
No, but yeah, some of
I used
them
to do
have
the same
papers.
thing back in the day. Like I would.
The only dog, like I said, I don't really care for paper. Like I said, I taste the pen. With my Rottweiler has paperwork. I was tasting the pedigree so much that the bitches that I kept running across were just.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I had a lot of pit bulls like that. Like on paper, yeah, them dogs were. Yeah, you
It
know what
was
I
just
mean. But
trash, and I think we have to get as people. It's good if the dogs fit that pedigree, if that makes sense. If,
yeah,
if,
yeah, because the dog makes the papers. So
yeah, if that dog that bitch or that sire fits that pedigree, okay, let's talk business. But if I got chasing pedigree like, oh yeah, this is this shit, and then the dog like fucking trash, bro. I don't want it. Like at the end of
no,
the day,
I know exactly what you mean.
so
I
but
know.
yeah, no, yeah, they got papers.
Yeah,
But besides Muaji didn't have. Muaji has what he had with that guy doing his own shit with his own dog.
right. No, I used to call breeders back in the day when I was younger, when I had less money and opt out. Like, people still to this day do that shit. Like I got guys now like, yeah, bro, I'll sell you one like for such and such with papers. I'm like, bro, I don't even really I know you. Like, bro, I don't really give a shit about them papers, honestly.
Yeah, you could buy
But
with
if
paper or without paper.
right, but if that's something, but like I said, if like you said though, but if that's what they're really trying to do and the dog does match, and you want to go on, you want to have the option to pass on to people to go to the show or competition or whatever, that's great, by all means. Like me,
But,
I'm like you, I will throw them papers out because the only thing I'm gonna do is probably lose them shits anyway.
right.
So after a while, because I'm not into it like I used to be. Like you said, you got the file
Now, like I
cabinet.
said earlier, we talking coon hounds.
But yeah, right.
I
It's
got fucking
like
paper.
right. If I was
I
into
got
something like
fucking
that,
paper.
right, right. Which like you said, which makes sense because that's a whole different.
Like I said, the coon hounds. I think even down towards even the beagles, there it's 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 a business with those dogs, and those papers matter because that's another thing. Those papers count because you're getting paid off of those puppies doing the work. These are working competition dogs. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? These are hunting dogs. So you're getting paid off of those puppies. I think I was kind of trying to say that towards the bite work people were, you know what I'm saying, the sport people. If they did that with their dogs, the business and the breedings would be more structured and way more better. If they just followed the blueprint how they do with the coonhound. But yeah, as that those that's how breeding should be done because with them you either want to put the best of the best to produce the best on the field that's working. Because if you look at a lot of dogs, y'all do your own research on the coonhound and competition coonhound. Just dive into it, and y'all will see.
Yeah, no, there is a lot. I'm not versed in it like that, but I do know it exists, and I do know there are other things
I
that
didn't know
can.
shit of it until like high class. He like so high class. That's my bro.
Yeah, I try to set up an interview with this
He
man too,
he put
as
me
well.
he put me on because my first coonhound I owned he was gonna be for hog, and I kind of like got too busy to like really deal with the hog dog shit, and I sold him, and then high class like, yo, you need to get a coonhound. You need to get a coonhound. And I was like, man, what the fuck is up with you, these goddamn coonhounds? And then like I sat down and I was looking, and I really started like doing research. Now I do research, but I don't do research. But you know what I'm saying? So I fucking found out like these dogs are like worth a lot of money. Like
Yeah, it's
a
really
lot of money.
it's an investment animal. It's
Like
almost like
these dogs are making over $250,000.
yeah,
And
it's
then,
an investment, like for real, because when you like you can say you can definitely attest to this. Like anybody, you don't make a ton of money breeding and selling dogs, like if any at all, if you're doing things correctly, especially if you got family bills. Oh, it just depends on your
now,
situation.
now, 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 listen to this. Now, I said take the pedigree with the paper dogs. There's a X-bred dog, what they call coonhound crosses, that they don't know what the sire. I think the dog's father. They don't know what the father is of this coonhound puppy that was mixed. That dog's got over 200,000 in winnings too, with the other side being an unknown pedigree. It's at the end of the day, it's about the damn dog and what the dog can do in anything.
Right.
If that dog is competing against high rolling ass pedigree dogs that got phenomenal pedigrees, top and bottom.
Well, that's like people who actually send their dogs. That's why I suggested to a lot of people, like, if you're really serious, like people are like, oh, I want protection dogs, I want to do this. And I'm like, well, if you're really serious about that, like, if you really you can't just be online now and be like, oh yeah, I got protection dogs that have literally never protected shit, not even you, but that's what you're selling. In my opinion, it's like you need to take them dogs if that's what they really are about, and you need to like call some embassies or some estates, and you need to give some of them dogs away to them places and let them people work your dogs as a real protection dog to give you 100% real feedback and say you don't send a dog to fucking Serbia somewhere.
So
You know
are
what
we
I mean?
talking
Or
as in protection dogs as natural ability or built? Because a lot of these protection dogs are built.
well, well, the intimidation factor is there with a lot of them. You know what I
Okay,
mean? Like you look at it,
like the
right? But a
Buchanan.
dog that actually is
Right.
gonna look the part. But if somebody like if you got an embassy and if a motherfucker really jump that fence or start acting up, this dog is gonna look the part and he's gonna really do exactly what you told them this dog was gonna
Right.
do. Because
Right.
that's what's really gonna at the end of the day, you know how much a dog like that you can put a dog like that in the Rob report. A coon dog, these coon dogs you talking about, they be in Rob report. That's how I know about them. That's the only reason I know that what you're talking about exists, because it was even before High Class told me about it. I'm like, yeah, I seen this shit in the Rob report. They sell real tested protection dogs in there for like $30,000-$40,000. A real deal investment. It's like exotic animals, like that's a real investment. Like it's hard to lose money on that shit. You know what I mean? Unless you're just killing your stuff.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I'm gonna flip every single time I have a clutch, no matter what. But yes, but there's other levels with other dogs too, but most people don't, today it's just like you got your phone or whatever, some camera equipment, and that's all it takes. And I got this dog that ain't never done the job. He's never been through he's not even in the environment. You don't even have the environment. You're not even taking him through the process. And so somebody said, can you come back and do the session just on coon hounds? Or maybe we can do a round table or something. If you know a couple other guys that do coon hounds, we put together like a round table. Talk about some coon hounds.
We can make that. I can reach out to a couple people like that. Like I said,
Because
I'm
I
new
don't know
to
enough about them,
I'm
right?
new to the cool now. That was the thing. Like with me, I have this issue where if I'm going to do it, it's going to be bred by me type mentality.
Right.
So, like with my cool hounds, I got a little cool hounds. They got some old school blood and some good dogs in their pedigree. And I kept 3 puppies up in it, and I'm going to go out there and I'm going to compete with them. And then hopefully somebody sees like, hey man, what you want for that dog right there? I'll give you $20,000. So you can buy half the dog which I don't know about. You can buy half that dog for $20,000.
And then keep the other half. Yeah.
Yeah. So if that dog goes to winnings and 50-60, we split the
Right.
that's it's all business in the cool house.
Yeah, man. No, yeah, co-owning dogs and things like that.
Yeah.
Prize show dogs. A lot of people.
If you look at the pet, I mean, I don't know if it's in all the other breeds, but if you look at the
It'll
split,
say it'll say
yeah,
how
you
many
get
people own into the dog sometimes. I
yeah
think it's up to what, 3 people, I think is the most.
three. I think it's three. Yeah, 3 or 4.
Yeah, I think 3 people can, I think it's, yeah, one of the, I think it's 3 people can
And
own
that shit matters in the coon hounds.
So yeah, it's definitely, it's other levels to it, man. There are ways to, to get paid like this, products, having, different types of feeds or you know what is like, I mean, I'm sure there are some places like this, but maybe not. I don't, because I'm not into that sport of like, but when I talk about creating environments, it's kind of like when they legalize weed in all these states. And so you had all these places to go and buy weed, but there was nowhere to go and smoke it because the hotels didn't want you smoking weed in the rooms.
Right.
Most Airbnbs, they don't want you smoking in their house. So you got to smoke outside. Or if it's wintertime, who the fuck wants to do that? So a few people like would buy churches, abandoned churches, but turn them into like smoke lounges. It's like, I don't know. Are there any places like that exist where you can go and train a dog, like environmentals for protect, like how you had like in DC, we used to have this shit in Maryland called like Rio Sportland. Doug probably know what I'm talking about. If he's from the DMV, so anybody in the DMV probably know Rio Sportland. And it was like a huge sports complex. You could go and, they had every type of sports you could think of indoors. If we had something like that for dogs, I don't know if that
I
exists or
remember
not.
seeing some shit like that where I'm from. When I was younger, when I seen some shit like that.
Because if not, I mean, that would be a good place to help create environmentals.
Yeah, it would, but it's a lot of ego in the dog game.
Oh, for sure. I mean, yeah. I mean, it's true. You can't.
If you really sit down, well, my experience, dealing with people of my color and my complexion, it's more of they want, gimme instead of helping each other out in the dog game. What can I benefit off of you type of deal? And it hinders like with me, I wanted to work Mawaji so bad, but at the same time, every time I brought up a feeler towards a couple of people or some people, the energy behind it was they wanted to fucking break him. I'm like, bro, what the fuck? I wanted to push him to the full potential. Like, bro, nah, I just need you to agitate my dog, motherfucker. What the fuck you want to beat my damn dog up for? Type of deal. It's like, or even with hunting, like I reached out to people just to, what I'm saying, run some rabbit dogs, and motherfuckers was like, yeah, man, I'm gonna have to charge you, or you can go over here. It's like, God damn. You know what I'm saying? So I think if the dog community just got together and just really help out one another, we can really make some shit happen, man. Like in real life,
Sure.
like it should. That's what I try to do with letting people come test their dogs on hogs. You know what I'm saying? I got an opportunity. We can
Right.
go catch guaranteed hogs. Doing, we could do a mock hunt. It's still these goddamn hogs still got teeth. They'll fuck your dogs up, but it's they're wild hogs still. You know what I'm saying? We can make that happen.
Right.
I'm
It's
not.
a test. It's a
Yeah,
test on a live animal. Like that's. I mean, to me, like that's.
I'm not. You know what I'm saying? I'm not making no money off of this. I want to come shake your hand and talk dogs, and you know what I'm
I mean,
saying. And
that's to me. That's an opportunity for
I
networking. Like
want
I
to
said,
see.
there's
I want
opportunity.
to see. You know what I'm saying? I want to see your dog work. That's how I look at it.
Right. Right. No, for sure. Plus, the person should. I mean, like I said, to me, if I were to ever buy a dog again, and I mean, I haven't done this in like I can't if it's not tested and proven. Like I don't want to. I can't, especially the type of dogs that I like. Where I just can't. So for me to even have an opportunity to take a dog somewhere, because I know I've seen you advertise that. Like, hey, I'm down. I'm gonna be down here. You want to get you? Because remember I hit you. I'm like, bro, I wish I could, man, but that's no telling what this
Like I said,
this blockhead will do.
the dogs will either hunt or won't hunt. The dogs are they're tested up. They're protected. We catch the hogs, we subdue the hogs, we either put them down right away, we just split the meat between one another, or I take the meat, or that's that.
Now it's a good opportunity all around. I think like you said, it's a win-win for sure, because you can go back and be like, yeah, my shit. At least I started to test it, see what my dog can do, to see if you can even go further. Because like I said, it's easy to take some pictures and post them up, which we see that all the time, every day. Like everybody got those pictures, like, but then you start talking to them about, like, well, where are your dogs at? Where are they going? Like, who are you selling them to? Like, you got $6,000-7,000 dog in the backyard.
I've seen and talked to people that got working dogs. I'm not gonna say names, but I've seen people sell working dogs to homes and they don't even get worked on.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. You got this $6,000 working dog in your house, and it's a family pet, and eventually, you know what I mean. It's gonna.
So I can't count on how many hands, how many, but count how many times on my hand. Fucking people hit me up wanting to get on hogs and be like, "Well, can we get my dog on a small hog?" No, bro. We get what we get. You know what I'm saying? We can't just
Right, you can't predict what's
you
gonna
can't
be
you
what's
can't
gonna
bring
be
your
out
pet
there.
you can't bring your pet out here and think it's just gonna we're just gonna know. We're not doing that. We're getting what we're getting, and that's that. I have people that have dogos and, well, let's let's meet and let's link up. Let's be buddy buddy. Like, yeah, that's cool, whatever, but we came to work dogs. Like, let's get your dog out here and let's get on these hogs and let's see what it can do. And then we can be buddy buddy afterwards or whatever.
Now they're gonna get to pull the gas cans out
You
after
go
that. Start.
and then you go see some shit, and then people end up fucking getting their dogs and putting them on fucking a farm pig or some shit like that. Like, but that's stupid. That's inhumane. I'm not knocking, but I'm knocking because there's no advantage for that hog. Like, get your dog and put on a raw hog. You want to
unless
get
you
If
unless
you
you
want
done
to
bought some
test your dog the right way.
unless you done bought some crazy super pig that somebody can't control. But yeah, most farm pigs, yeah, it's not. I mean, but they'll buck out though. I'll say that.
Yeah,
But
you get some that will, but some just
but most of them, yeah.
they just don't got it in them. Like how.
No, you gotta let them go for 4 months and then go and catch them. be a whole different animal then.
Yeah, nah,
Let
for
it
real.
go. Yeah, let it go, and then go catch that motherfucker again.
Yeah.
See what happened.
Yeah, Billy.
The same pig.
Yeah, Piggy
Yep.
ain't Piggy
The
no
same.
more.
That's the same pig. Like when what's that? Wolverine. If they take the adamantium out of him, he'll go feral. That adamantium was suppressing his mutation.
Okay.
So yeah, we take when Magneto ripped that shit out of him. That's why that motherfucker, he started going like more feral, like getting all like more animal like and shit. So it's kind of like the same thing.
Yeah.
But man, yeah, Newman, I appreciate you for coming on. For sure, we're definitely gonna have to do this again. We at the 2 hour mark. Okay.
Any more
But
questions?
no, I see Northside in there. Young Blood. That's who's that? Kevin. And I don't see no more. I think that's it. Yeah, that's it. But yeah, man. Nah, I appreciate you for coming on.
It's been 2 years. You've
Yeah,
been
I
waiting.
only had to wait 2 years. So, but now, man, it was definitely worth the wait. Good. It was definitely a good chat, for sure. So everybody, next week, I think I'm not even.
I just
sure.
want to say this. I'm not the
Go ahead.
face. I'm not the face of feelers, y'all. You know what I'm saying? I got what I got, and I like what I got. At the end of the day, there are, quote unquote, other people that breed feelers that have nice papered up feelers that and working lines and all that shit. Check them out as well if y'all really serious about getting feelers. There's a lot of feeler breeders out there, and they produce good dogs. I got offered a couple of good dogs, off of good lines, fit lines as well. But what I'm saying, I got what I got. I can't help what I got. I like what I like. If y'all really want to get into feelers, you'd be surprised.
Well, there you have it, folks. The long-awaited, exclusive new Dogman, new Mastiff interview. You saw it here first. That's what they do, right? That's what they do in the reptile world. It's all about who did it first. Oh, I bred them first. I did it first. I was the first person to ever go to Indonesia and see a tree monitor. That's how they do it. And they come back and they're like, now they're a scientist.
That's everybody, bro. That's how.
Yeah, no, it is really the animal world is crazy right now. All of it. It's the dog.
I mean, you gotta look at the explosion in the past, like what, 4 or
10
5
years? Well, really 10.
The Corso, the Pressas, the Borbo, like and the Dogo all exploded like back to back all at once.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I know somebody that got a dogo here. I know of somebody that got a dogo here. Like they tried to rehome that dog like 5 times to keep coming back. They called me about the dog.
But listen, people, we still live.
Yeah. Yeah, we still rolling.
But I had people hit me up. I helped them push dogs. Like I had people contact me, full-grown dogos that were in apartments. I helped push. People hit me up with feelers. I did my best to help push. Corsos, like I've seen people have whole Corso litters, bro, cannot move them. It's like it's kind of sad at the end of the day. I mean, if I really tell people now, it's like, bro, don't breed. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, if you're looking to make profit, don't breed. If you're not looking to keep puppies or breeding for a family member, don't breed. Not right now. Don't do it. It's not worth it at the end of the day.
Yeah, I just told my cousin this. I was like, man, just like unless you got some people willing to give you deposits up front. Yeah. Like I said, because it's no talent. Like everybody says, like, oh, you breeding when you get everybody since forever. Everybody's still saying that's the most famous line with any animal. If anybody sees you with, oh man, you breed, you have more, you sell them, or my cousin used to have one like that, man. No, man. If you ever have some puppies or if you ever have some kittens, then as soon as you add them joints, they're like, nah, I can't. I just lost my job. Like I can't.
I tell people once I hear people like, about to drop a litter or thinking about saying the shit, just it makes me cringe a little bit. Like, bro, nah, that's not right now. Don't do it right now. You're gonna be stuck with a whole lot of goddamn puppies, and then they're all gonna be free, and then those free puppies end up turning to be bred. It's like a cycle.
Yeah. So, but all right. We appreciate everybody in the comments, all the questions, concerns, the likes, subscribes, the hates, the motherfuckers who didn't say nothing in there. Obviously.
It ain't nothing but love, y'all. I love y'all.
Of course. Nothing but love, views. They should just hit the like button because they know that shit. They know my shit is dope. They should just hit the like button anyway. Like
yeah.
But yeah, man, next week I guess next week I think I'm gonna try to set up with authentic canine, and then that'll be the last like cross-pollination kind of hot dog talk that I do, and then I'm gonna kind of move on to another topic, and so. But yeah, everybody, we appreciate y'all for coming. Joe, Doug, the nigga that may or may not be in my house. I swear it sounded like somebody was in here.
That new saying, door knocking. What you talking about? I'm on that door knocking. Yeah, you out there, somebody's like, what the fuck up?
Yeah, because I felt I'm like a snake. I felt them vibrations first. I'm like, what the fuck? I mean, that was clear and apparent. What the fuck is that? So, but yeah, so I will see y'all next Sunday. Every Thursday, I believe Doug is dropping the Living with Venom. I think it's Mark's Reptiles. If y'all don't know who Mark's Reptile is, he works at a venomous reptile center on the Eastern Shore. I'm not going to put too much. I mean, it's not that it's not a secret, but I'm not going to put too much of his stuff. I didn't talk about this with his interview with him, but Mark has like 100-something thousand subscribers on IG and YouTube. Like all he does is like, it's just educational shit about venomous reptiles. Like that's it. And the reason I really wanted to do before I hop off here, this interview with Mark is because I wish I had the integrity that this man had. I swear I wish I do. Because, to have that many followers. So, you just like with this many followers, even with 10 followers, subscribers, one or two of them, you're going to get some haters. So when you have that many people, man, you should see some of the stuff they say to him or they say about reptiles, I should kill them all, crazy stuff like that. And then he just turns it into like, he just makes lemonade with it. You know what I mean? And I wish I could do that, but it's a real good interview in itself. That dude's come a long way in life. I'll tell you that. But yeah, make sure y'all check that out when it's released. I think that's the one that drops, man. And then I think after that is, or no, it's not. I think this UK. I think it's Alligator in the UK. Maybe that's who it is. Okay. Anyway, we out. Peace.